Baron Corbin, NXT superstar. Baron, what was it like for you? You did some Golden Gloves boxing and also some football. What was the boxing like for you?
It was a lot of fun. I did that while I was playing football, and a lot of it coincided with each other. You know, football was the same, all that, and just that competitive nature. Boxing allowed me to, do it as an individual and compete. And then I had football, which was, a team sport, and I was very successful in college and had a good run all 4 years that I played and started. I was All-American and competed in 4 national title games in a row, which is a NCAA record. It's a lot of fun, and just that competitive nature to the sports, it keeps pushing me to do what I do.
How did the boxing, because you were an offensive lineman, you said a left guard.
Yeah.
Did it help you agility-wise?
Yeah, it did, and it helped with a lot of little things that people wouldn't think about, such as, in boxing, you have someone throwing punches at you and you don't want to close your eyes. People have a tendency to squint or shut their eyes when something's going to hit them, and that translated to football. As an offensive lineman, I'm in close quarters. We call it a fist fight in a phone booth, in the trenches of the O-line, and it helped me just to keep my eyes open, and you play with your hands, and everything is short, quick steps, so they just went together really well.
Playing offensive line, what is that like? Because it's in the trenches.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the dirty work.
Yeah.
It's like that and all. For you, what was it like? Because you said you made All-American and you were at 4 national championship games, Division II,
Yep.
and you played at Northwest Missouri State.
Yep.
For you, what was it like? The journey and the position and offensive line, was that something you always wanted to do? Did you think of defensive line?
It actually was, and a lot of people say that. They say, why didn't you want to play D-line? And I have a philosophy on it that was told to me by my O-line coach. He said, as an offensive lineman, you have 11 targets. I get to hit 11 different people if I can. Defense, you're chasing one guy. Sometimes that guy changes, but you're after one. So, my job as an offensive lineman, if I put the guy down in front of me, I have 11 or 10 more guys to choose from to hit. And so, that always kind of stuck with me, try to get to the second level, try to put linebackers down if you can't get to a safety. And that was my big appeal to being an offensive lineman. It was violent, it was quick, it was fast. I got to do a lot of things as a guard. I got to pull and run sweeps outside, and so I got to get out and run and screens, and certain plays make you smile as an offensive lineman, like screens, because you're going to get to light somebody up. So that was the great part of being an offensive lineman.
Playing in 4 national championship games, and then you told me the next year your brother Danny went to the national championship and he got the win.
Yeah, he did.
So was that bragging rights for the family?
Oh, it definitely was. I have 4 rings from 4 conference championships, and they're big, beautiful rings. And he likes to put out there that he has the national title ring. He'll send me pictures of it, and he'll talk about it still. And it's been a couple of years, and he still rubs it in.
So social media has not been your friend, because now it gives him more ways to just rub it in.
It does. He'll take pictures and post them, and he'll say, hey, did you notice the ring in the picture?
So now, what made you decide? Because from there you went with the Indianapolis Colts, had a tryout with them, and then went with the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, I was signed as a free agent, and so when the draft was going on, I had a couple teams call me and tell me they were going to draft me, and it didn't work out. And during the 7th round, the Indianapolis Colts called and offered me a free agent deal, so that if I wasn't drafted, I was a preferred free agent, and I would come to rookie minicamp. And so we took that offer. We had a couple of different ones, but we went with Indianapolis because they're known for free agents and small school guys. And got there, went through rookie training camp, OTAs, and then training camp, and it didn't work out, and I was let go, and I got signed by the Arizona Cardinals a couple weeks later, and I spent about 2.5 years there, and was on practice squad 99% of it, but it was a great experience. I got to play left tackle and left guard and a little bit of right guard, and another one of our fellow wrestlers here was in Arizona with me. Mojo Raleigh was a D tackle, so we actually got to play against each other.
All right, so who got bragging rights there?
Yeah. So it was a great experience.
Was it you or him though? Who got? You're an offensive lineman. He's a D lineman.
Yeah.
So were there any battles between the two?
Oh, we had some good ones. He's an extremely tough, hard-nosed kid, and so we had some because we're both physical players. So we hit each other a lot. And
was Baron Corbin a little better at it, or is it that you don't want to put yourself on the spot?
It was a good toss-up. We're both good in our own ways, so I'll leave it at that. So we like to work together. So, but he's here, so it's nice to have somebody here that kind of has gone through the same path that I've gone through. He played at Maryland, and it's just a good experience to make that transition from wrestling to here.
How did that happen, making the transition from football? It's interesting, from boxing to football to this.
Yeah, I actually did some jiu-jitsu too and competed. I won a national title in Naga in grappling. But I've just always been an active guy, and growing up, I've always loved wrestling. You know, I've always followed it. I've always been a big fan of it, and I've enjoyed it. And you know, as a kid, you play wrestling in the house, and you try to do the things in the home. And my brother was a great practice dummy. And
was this Danny or?
Yeah, it was Danny. So you know, it's always been something I've wanted to do. But football paid for school, and then became a way of living and putting food on the table. So that was my path at that time. And I always knew that eventually I wanted to get here. I didn't know if it'd be right after college or when I was done playing, but this was always an ultimate goal to be here.